is desperate.
According to the UN, the war could cause the exodus of 5 million people. A meeting on the migration crisis is scheduled for Sunday between the European Union's interior ministers. Well, one of Ukraine's other neighbors, Hungary, has extended legal protection to Ukrainians running from the fighting, letting them in at all 5 land crossings along the 137-kilometer border between the two countries. Often considered an ally of Vladimir Putin, Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban has pledged his support for all EU sanctions against Russia. He's also reversed his anti-migrant stance.
We're letting everyone in. I've seen people without travel documents, but we're providing them with some. And we're also allowing in those who've arrived from other countries.
Well, the events of the past few days causing uproar around the world, including in Russia, with a protest in St. Petersburg against the Kremlin's military operation. Media reports saying police have detained at least 105 people at the rally this Saturday. Russia's interior minister, though, has not released the exact number of participants or how many were detained. Previously, Vladimir Putin and the Kremlin threatening criminal prosecution for anyone protesting the military operation in Ukraine. Well, France 24's Moscow correspondent Nick Holdsworth tells us more.
It just occurred to me that this place is just in deep denial. And as this is going on, there is a war apparently launched by Putin. This is Putin's war, on the pretext of Nazis in Ukraine, drug users in Ukraine. It's just so surreal. It's the lies are so intense, and the Russian media can't even use the word war, assault, or invasion in any of their reports. They've been forbidden from doing that. There's talk of there've already been restrictions on Facebook and Twitter. There's talk of them being banned outright because Putin is terrified that the Russian public will understand that this war is insane. I think they do, but not in sufficient numbers yet. I was talking to a German chap I bumped into who works at a school here in Moscow, and we were discussing the situation. I noted the fact that historically 3% of a country's population is enough out on the streets to make change. 1789 in Paris, 1848 in cities across Europe, for example, going way back. Well, in Russia, 140 million population, 3% is 5 million. The last time we even had 1 million people on the streets here was the winter of 2010, 2011, the White Ribbon protests. If those young people protests start to grow and 5 million Russians stand up and say, we stand up and be counted, we are not for Putin's war, something may change. But until that, I'm very sad to say that it doesn't look good. And the Russian military is not happy with what's going on, and the lies continue about how the Ukrainians are arming their people purposely to hide behind them, use them as human shields. The Russians don't want to hurt civilians, but they might have to soon. There are reports that the Chechen leader, these have been confirmed now, Ramzan Kadyrov, has sent the North Brigade into Ukraine. These are 10,000 battle-hardened Islamic extremists who won't have any compunction about shooting men, women or children whom they will see as infidels. This is really a very serious moment, and yet here in Moscow today on a fairly fine but crisp spring day, it feels totally surreal.
Well, other protests have taken place around the world in support of Ukraine. Right here in Paris, for instance, on the Place de la République, as you can see on these pictures, but also in Georgia, in the Caucasus, neighboring Russia, which was the target of a Russian invasion in 2008, and also in Taiwan, which is living under the specter of forced reunification by the People's Republic of China. Well, with his country under attack, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has been thrust into the role of a national hero. He's refused to leave Kyiv despite continued threats to his safety. Well, Monty Francis has a closer look at his rise from a popular comedian and actor to rallying his fellow citizens in a time of war.